reading the ordinance, please have your seats. Thank you. Okay, before we get started, you all know that Cruiser and Mitchell resigned as our interim city attorney, and so I've asked Clint Rhodes to make the appointment of Mr. Rhodes, who's with us tonight, to serve as our interim city attorney until we can have the lawsuit, the declaratory judgment resolved. So Mr. Rhodes is here in that capacity tonight, and I will email everybody his resume in the morning. I've received a hard copy of it.
Thank you.
So going over the regular agenda, we have tonight's invitation, announcements. You all received a copy of the announcements. Pledge to the flag and ceremonial matters. We have, it's Georgia Day. It's the anniversary of our founding, and so we'll do a proclamation in honor of Georgia Day and National Girl Scout Cookie Day, everyone's favorite time of the year. We have the minutes from the last meeting and also from the meeting before then. Are there any changes or any objections to the minutes? Did we get the situation worked out from last time?
Yeah, I read the minutes, Mayor, and I'm okay with it.
We have Mr. Ewing here for our soundbite. Is that right? He's going to be here tonight. Okay. And then we'll have the State of the City address. Mr. Whitaker will be here to give an audit report. And then Mr. Sanders is going to postpone his mid-year budget report until our next council meeting. You all should have seen that email. That's Thursday. Is that the day of our next meeting? Under old business, we finally have my first reading of our sign ordinance. That is just on for a first reading. So if I could have a motion at the appropriate time to waive that. Mr. Davis, anything you need to tell us about the sign ordinance?
No ma'am, not right off the top of my head.
Anybody have any questions about the sign ordinance? We've been working on this for several months now.
I think everybody got the draft changes back in December. So if there are any questions between now and 2 weeks, let us know.
We also have a first reading on an ordinance to amend chapter 46 of solid waste.
We do.
Give us a explanation of that.
Basically, I think probably Mr. Emanuel has worked closest with Gay and Public Works on this update. It's basically the few changes that are in here lend flexibility to the ordinance should there be a change, whether in the types of receptacles that are required. And it's really very much a housekeeping type change. I know that for instance, the very first change in 46.4, the old ordinance took into account that there were actually fees and charges. There are not charges now, so we're just making it clear that everything is included in the property tax millage rate. So it's very much a cleanup, a housekeeping. There is one change that in the review process that has occurred in the different departments. Planning and zoning picked up what I thought was a good find. If y'all would pass these down. And we're recommending one change in section 46, 14, and 15. It's basically going to tie in enforcement of the ordinance much better with the Public Works Department. The wording in red is the recommended addition from John Davis and John Dennis, and I think it makes a lot of sense to put that in there to where both somebody getting a residential building permit or a commercial customer has to establish, maintain, and keep current an account through Public Works. I think Gay is on board with this, So I'd like to suggest those two changes between now and the second reading.
Okay. Any questions? Under new business, we have the approval of the STAC contract. Anybody have any questions about that? There are a few changes from last year, or it's basically the same?
There are several. I tried to enumerate the new items between the last agreement and this one. Basically, they are, in this one, we have specific budget numbers, not only on the marketing efforts through the magazine, but also the max number on traffic and security. We have a calendar of events, which is included and will be approved in this agreement. Balanced budget requirement has been added to this agreement. Planning has been directed with Public Works and PD. That's always happened in the past, but we did put it in there in writing, where those departments would have to be included in the planning process well before any event occurs. We have enumerated fees. Obviously, the green is no cost. Briscoe is available at the city rate, city resident rate. There is a new line item accounting for destination events. I've worked with Kelly on that. I think she realizes that will benefit both parties. Monthly P&Ls will be required. Monthly reporting to the mayor and council, but only during those active months. I think that's something that will help staff. It will give a chance for them to publicly talk about everything that they have going on, and it is a full calendar of events. And then there's also a new contact number for interested volunteers. So we have added, taken comments from a lot of different sources, put them in here, reviewed it with everybody. I think that everything in the official code of Georgia, every standard is met for the use of our hotel motel tax dollars, and I think it's a good agreement. So I think we're ready to get there.
Any questions for Mr. Sanders? Consideration action on award of bid for digital voice logging and archiving system for the police department.
This is the system where we record incoming phone calls and through 911 and radio traffic. It gives us an automatic playback feature so that if we missed what the caller said, we're able to play it back. It's something that's maintained. It's also an expense that should be reimbursable under the E911 SDS money. The one that we had won't work under the new 911 system that we have.
Any questions?
You just
for the chief?
fixed it.
The word should.
I'm sorry.
You said it should be covered.
Oh, well.
Will it be covered? I mean, I know
It's
that you've
the
asked them to
only reason
determine.
I said, the only reason I use that qualifier is that it is supposed to be covered by it.
That doesn't mean it is.
Under the agreement, they have agreed to cover that. But if we have a meeting, I can't tell you what the three votes might do, but it's supposed to be covered. It's listed in the contract as being covered.
Are we without a system now? I mean, we have no way for 911, we cannot record 911 calls?
We can record the radio traffic, but not the 911 calls. And we can't play back.
Other questions for the chief?
Well, just one more, when will and what kind of, I know that you mentioned at the last meeting, or maybe in a private conversation we had, that you were having problems with the 911. You and the county were looking at it in different ways, the agreement?
Right, but we're,
This is not part of that?
no, this isn't part of that. And all of this is, when I say this, it's supposed, everything that we expend is to be trued up under the SDS agreement. That's why I said it is to be covered. This is something that it is a covered expense. I just don't want them to come back on the committee and try to say that it's not. But I can't imagine that would happen.
If you remember in the budget talks for the county, the reimbursements that the cities turned in for 911 expenses was more than what the county was expecting to pay. And so when they were doing their budget, that was one of the criticisms that the cities received as part of the SDS. But our SDS agreement is pretty ironclad that they should pay all of these things. But the county has been making some issues about some of these payments. And so I think that's why the chief is being careful to choose his words.
And they are saying that it's to be trued up. That's their words, that it's required
And
once
I'm
through the
going to
office.
ask the question, be careful, because if they don't, then if the city's paying for it, and, you know, it's an unbudgeted expense.
Well, that was gonna be my question. What contingency do we have in funds to cover that if we vote to do this and then they say no?
Well, it would have to come from the undesignated reserve fund that we had after the last budget.
And we get 200 and some thousand every year from the SDS that is supposed to go to police that vest.
But we spend that money, I mean, that's offsetting expenses we have, right?
Right, it's just offsets expense.
Right.
It is one of the, I should have said, it is one of the allowable expenses under the agreement. I just don't know what they may do.
Right.
I mean, it's
That's my
not a
concern.
luxury, guys.
No, I know that, It's, I just think we all need to be aware that it could very well come out of our budget, not out of the time of law.
It's better to be aware but have a contingency in case.
Other questions? Okay. Then last, we have mayor's nomination, council's confirmation of Ms. Andrews for the Evermore CID Improvement District Board. She just walked in, so if anybody has any questions, you can ask her in between the breaks. Thank you for being here, and we look forward to hopefully you serving on Evermore CID. That concludes the regular agenda, and then moving on to our work session agenda. And me? Okay. I'm good enough now. Okay. Nonsense sent to me.
What I'm here to do tonight is to present some ideas for a city app to gauge the interest that the council has in possibly getting a city app, and just showing you some examples of what's out there. As soon as this starts up. And I'm going to try and go through this pretty quickly because I do have quite a few companies in here with information. So this all started a while back when Russell was here. We started looking at a city app, and then we kind of got away from it. We were working on some other things, and so we wanted to come back to this. I requested some quotes from different companies for a city mobile app. And once again, idea if council's interested and what features y'all are interested in, I can get some real specific quotes on that. Look at several companies. The first one is City App Maker, and theirs would be about $2,500 setup. And the way they base it on is on the number of businesses that you have listed in it. It really is a bit more of a business-oriented app, like a Chamber of Commerce app, although they do allow you to have calendars and photo galleries and a about the city section. And here are some examples of some of the apps that they've created for some of the companies. Like I said, it focuses on businesses more than anything else. And so that's another one that we have is government outreach. And they have two different versions, a light version and a full version. Really the difference being how many people you want to have accessing it as far as on the employee side. It focuses a lot on issue reporting. And here's an example of the interface for issue reporting for different cities. You have a citizen put in their issue, like say a pothole, and then that information gets immediately sent out to whatever employee you designate for that section. And here are some employees. Like I said, it focuses mostly on issue reporting and code enforcement, although it does allow for some customized buttons. Those point to web pages on our website rather than stored data in the app. Another one is called QSend. They are a bit on the pricey side. The upfront amount $26,900, or you can pay $1,500 as setup fee, and then the $400 a month, which is a bit pricey. It has both issue reporting and city information as well. It has a web portal for both citizens and employees to report issues. Here's some examples of the interface here. on the iPhone. And it does have like a news section, and that would be an RSS feed off of our website. So as we update our website, that information would be pushed out to the app. Another one is NetTango. Theirs is a one-time purchase fee, 10 to 15,000. All the data that comes in there comes from website data streams like RSS. So when you update the info on your website, it's pushed out to the app. It has items like news stories, calendars. One of the examples had Code Red. I thought Diane would like to see that. Here's an example of this app. This is Louisville, and they've got quite a few personalized buttons on theirs. This company, really they focus more on website development. Louisville right now is showing us their only mobile app, although it's a very good app. One nice thing is when you click on links and you go to a web page, it opens up the browser within the app, so you're not having to go back and forth and relaunch. So that's nice. My City Mobile has apps. The setup fee is about $3,500 to $5,000, and it's $290 a month. The data, they both have RSS feed, web feeds from your website, but they also have a web interface that you can log in and you can manually update information into the app. It offers some good stuff, council bios, committees, history, photo gallery, contacts, issue reporting. It does have issue reporting, calendar, and here's some examples of this app. Another one is called Victory Apps. Theirs is a $10,000 one-time fee and $250 a month. And all their data comes from RSS feeds, from website feeds into it. And it is mostly issue reporting with some links to, you can do city news and calendar, although that's going to link directly to our website. And here's an example for Victory Apps. And C-Click Fix is another one. This one you've probably seen if you've ever gone to any sort of government presentation with apps. It is, mostly it's an issue reporting app. It's $3,600 a year for 3 employees, and it goes up $4,800 if you want 4, or $6,000 for unlimited. And basically that's the people who can go in and who can go in through a web portal and access the information that citizens have entered into the program. They can enter it either from a web portal or from their iPhones or Android. It doesn't pull over any information from your website, so it's really basically an issue reporting app. And here are some examples, some local ones, Dunwoody, Alpharetta. And what they do is this company, they have a file of your city. So when a citizen is in your city limits, the C-Click Fix app automatically realizes that and pulls in your information, the city's information. It pulls in what customized issue reports that we have, so it picks up on that, which is neat. This one I'm never quite sure how to pronounce. Geofity? Something. It's it costs $4,500 to set up, and then it's $2,500 annual licensing fee. It allows both website feeds, which is information automatically coming from the website, or also you can log in and manually update the information as well if you want something different that's not on your website. It offers a lot of stuff like history, city news, calendar items, bios of elected officials, contacts, a lot of different stuff. You can have links to your Facebook, Twitter pages, to Code Red. Here are some examples. And citizens can submit photos for the gallery, which we could preview first and then approve it. Another one is Tour Buddy. Now this one is really aimed more at being a tour of your city or a feature in the city. It is, depending on what all you want included, $200 to $240 a month, or you can do a $3,000 lump sum, which includes the first year supports, and then $50 a month for monthly. Like I said, it's more of a walking tour, and it provides an interface that you design your own app from it. So they provide the interface, but we would actually have to design the app ourselves. And it can include images, audio, maps. We would have to record the audio. It would be our audio recording. Here's an example of the Savannah walking tour that they've created. And they've got their different stops, and they have their map, and they've got pictures involved. And that's actually an audio file that you would play. Like I said, it's designed for audio tours with some different links in it, like list of your stops, the galleries, maps, GPS info. Another one is App Maker. It has a free version, although the free version has ads in it. Or you can do the premium version, which is $79 a month, and you have no ads and you have more menu options. This also provides an interface that you design your own app, so you would log into their website to design the app. It includes both data coming from your website and RSS feeds, and then also you can log in and manually add in data. You can include push notification, images, video, audio. One nice thing is you can try this out for free, and then you don't get charged until you decide to publish your app. So if you want to try the free version first, and then if you decide to publish the app without any ads, you would pay just at that time. And they're not specific to cities or anything, so here are some examples, but these aren't cities. And I did think the design on this one was a little bit difficult to navigate. There'd be quite a learning curve on that one. iBuild app had a tiered pricing plan, so it may be a little hard to read in there. They've got free versions, which includes the branding and ads, and then they have 3 other pricing levels depending on, well, none of them have the ads in them or the iBuild app branding, but the pricing would depend on the number of downloads a year. So $9.99 a month would be for up to 300 downloads. By downloads, that would be your citizens going out to the iTunes store or to the Google Play Store and downloading the app. It supports web feeds and also information that you just manually type in yourself. And this again is provides a web interface that you design your own app on. And here are some examples. That first one, Clear Creek Middle School, is actually a school in Georgia that designed their own app. Again, you can try this app out for free, and then you're not charged until you decide to release the app. So you could try it out first, see what you think, and then release the app. It's not specific to government, but it does have a lot of features to it. And if you go to their website, they do have a lot of customers who have built apps, but you kind of have to look through it to see who actually has submitted the apps that are available in the stores. And those 2 that I had listed before, they're actually available. I downloaded them from the iTunes store. If we're interested, there are some general cemetery apps. These are not specific they're not going to have Snellville branding on them, but they're out there, and the citizens can actually go in and enter in information for their loved ones, for say the Snellville Cemetery app. One of them is called Billion Graves, and it has quite a few cemeteries, over 124,000 cemeteries. And of those, there are 452 records entered for the Snellville Historical Cemetery. So people have been using that, which is pretty cool. Info in it includes name, birth and death dates, other relatives that are in the cemetery, photos and maps. You can put in grave descriptions and personal histories. Best part is it's free. So we could just update with our Snellville Historical Society, Snellville Historical Cemetery information. The last one I looked at was Tomb Finder, and that has over 150 cemeteries. It does not have the Snellville Historical Cemetery in it though. Not quite as much information as the other one, and it does have a setup fee of $257 plus $9 a month hosting, so that one wouldn't be free. So I know I rushed through this quickly because there was a lot of information. I'll be happy to email all that to y'all along with a spreadsheet if you're interested that has a summary of the information. I just wanted to get a feel from you guys if you guys are interested in having a city app. If so, what features you would want included, and if any of the app companies, when you look through this some more, if any of those sound interesting to you, if you wanted me to go back specifically to those companies and see. And also, I wasn't able to show it on here, but I have a sample of all those apps downloaded from the companies that I could email out to you guys, and you guys could pull them up and look at them. Unfortunately, it wasn't going to preview through here. So, Did y'all have any questions or anything that you?
Are there any other cities in Gwinnett County that have apps for their cities?
You know, we were talking about that, and I didn't think there were, but we're wondering if maybe Duluth has been looking at one. Duluth and I think was it Norcross?
When we started looking at this with the Treadway, we were gonna be the first city in Gwinnett to have it. If you remember last year, Mayor Harris's State of the City, her theme was there's an app for that, and I think Norcross then went and got a city app. Duluth, and I believe Norcross has followed with the city app.
So we haven't talked to either one of them.
No, not yet, no. Yeah, that's been fairly recent on that. And I can look and see, if they have one in here, actually.
You spoken to anybody at staff?
No, I have not.
You might
And,
might want to do that to make sure if we proceed, because they're they either are going to or have one,
mhm.
and just to make sure that we're not duplicating.
Oh, okay, what it would be the focus of,
How to find businesses in Snellville.
okay. Because several of these, and they might be interested, several of these had sort of a business focus. Here we go, Norcross City, assuming this is Norcross, Georgia. And if it's city of Norcross, so. Okay, I'll get with Stat and ask that, yes.
If I could suggest something, this thing's
Please.
trying to endeavor, I think that we should probably have a committee with people from STAT, people from the DDA, people from the URA, people from the city, you know, people that do this, that this is gonna affect, and have them sit around a table and let them decide what we need, rather than them bring that to the council.
Well, before we get to that point, right now, we're looking at prices, because this isn't something we've budgeted for, so we're looking at it now to see if it's something we want staff to look at putting in our budget that we're gonna start working on for 2014.
Okay, I didn't hear anything about budget, I heard about
Oh.
what do we want on it. So what
I
I'm saying,
apologize,
we
yes.
need to talk about what we want on it before we even know what a budget would be.
Exactly,
Something
and-
that
and
we're
that's-
interested in, that we want staff to even pursue, so that
Right.
they can look at budgeting factors.
And what features y'all be interested in, because that is gonna also decide, you know, the cost. Some of them have
Exactly,
more
and that's what I'm trying to
customization.
say. You're not gonna be able to know what you're budgeting for until you know what you want and what you have to have in it. And I suggest a committee to find out what we want in it, so that we know what we're gonna do, then you'll know how to, you'll be able to go out and find people that can do what we want, and then have a budget figure. And I'd also like to suggest that perhaps in that process, why don't we, rather just get an app, that we consider doing something with our website too, and get a complete package with the website and the apps. And we do the whole our website is pretty long in the tooth. You know, compared to some of the others we have. So maybe we should look and see if we get a package, which would include the mobile application and the website.
Okay,
Okay, and then a committee, like I said, that could look at exactly what we want on it, and that should include those different people. And then we could figure budget. I'd also like to see if maybe there's not someone local who could supply that. You know, once we know what we want, go to local people, and there's several web designers in the area, and see, maybe we can get a better deal if we get someone local to do it, and we'd be supporting local business rather than somebody in Washington D.C.
and you said it was, Stats already looking at this, Stats started looking at
Dave
this?
said that, I'm not aware of it.
They were talking about it, I don't know how far along they are in the implementation.
The purpose of me putting this on the agenda tonight was to see if there's a consensus from council, and we'll develop this, but is there a consensus of council that it's something that we want in the city as a city app?
Yeah, I think we need to look at it. I
Then
don't think
we'll-
we need $100,000 app.
Then we'll take it from there.
Thank you.